I'm alive. I'm live. My lighting is not the best still. I'm still working on it. It's still a work in progress. So I really am so excited that you're still with me after all of this fooling around that I've been doing for the last month or so with my YouTube channel. I actually want to try some lighting right now. Whoop, we don't like that lighting because I just got a good look at all my wrinkles on that side. We don't want that. So we're going to just make do with this. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, subscribers, viewers, and randos, it's Kim. I am a little old lady in a big old world, and today I have a Christmas miracle to share with you. It is really pretty exciting what I'm going to share. But before I do that, I also want to share that this is the fourth day of Christmas. Yes, it is. And we're going to prepare a very fun, frugal, easy, sweet treat, something that I used to do for my kids when I was a military mom and when I was a soccer mom and I was running everywhere. And groceries were something that was a huge part of our budget because I had 5 children, and that was just something that I've always done, is pay attention to how much my food costs are. So I decided that I would try to make sopapillas when they were little. And I discovered this little thing. I'm sure other people do it. It's an easy thing to do. But when you want a sweet treat and you're kind of out of stuff and you want to make it at home, you just take some tortillas, flour tortillas. These are Mission. And these are the super soft ones. They're a little big. Now, I'm looking at the ingredients and I'm not crazy about all the ingredients. I'm not crazy about how processed it is. But I want to show you that in a pinch that you can do this. And this little bag was $2.99, which is not a bad deal for 20 of them, right? So I've got a pan here and I've got my oil in it, my Winn-Dixie, my store brand vegetable oil. And I did buy a bunch of these when they were on sale because the price has gone up dramatically on all the oils, as you've probably noticed. So I've already got a little layer of oil in my pan here. You probably cannot see it, but I do. It's right here. And I picked a pan that's very flat. Let me see. There you go. You can kind of see that. And there you go. Okay, so I picked a pan that's very flat. We're going to turn that pan on the big burner. We're going to turn it up fairly high because we want the sopapillas, we want the tortillas to really fry up crisp when we get them in there. And then I will take them and I will put them on a blotter, on a pan with some paper towels so we can get the oil off of it. Then we're going to just put a tiny little bit of butter on it, a bit of butter, real butter, and a little tiny bit of coarse salt, sea salt, and then we're going to sprinkle it with sugar and cinnamon. And cinnamon is what really gets it good. So we're going to do that. So while I'm making my version of sopapillas, and I'm still trying to get the light right in my kitchen, and I'm so thankful for your patience, I also want to say something to somebody that's very important to me, and that is Ardent Michelle. The young woman, well, she's younger than I am. She lives in San Diego, I believe, in Southern California. And for the last 5 years, she's had an amazing YouTube channel that has been a great inspiration to me. It's called Ardent Michelle. She's going to be leaving her videos up for you, but she is not going to be creating for a while. She's going to be taking a much needed rest. And I just want to say to Michelle, I sure appreciate you. I love everything that you're doing, and I will miss you, but I'm going to continue to go through all your videos. She's got content going back 5 years, and it's really good on how to live and live well in a smaller grocery budget. So, okay, let's see if this pan's hot enough. And as you can see, my hair is up. Nope, not quite, almost. Just put one little dot of water in that. So we're getting there. So we're getting there close. So, and I want to do probably just one for you to show you what it's like, and taste it for you too. Anyways, these are my version. Oh, I hear it now. Okay, here it goes in the pan, and it's still not hot enough. It wasn't quite hot enough, but that's okay. Let's put this up a little bit higher, and in a few minutes you're going to see it bubble. In fact, let me do that. Yeah, you're good. It'll be bubbling up in the pan. And I like to get it so that it's got just a little bit of warm brown on one side. Oh, starting to bubble. So I'm going to put a couple holes in it right now. Oh, it's really bubbling. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if this will help. No, that doesn't help either. Okay, there it is. Oh, we got great big bubble on that one. Oh, not quite brown on the other side. And I'm going to get the butter so that we can put a little bit of butter on it. Oh my gosh, it looks like a puffer fish. Woo! Now I'm going to turn that oil down a little bit. Yep. Woo! That is looking nice. Okay, we'll get the butter out. And I do use real butter. And as I said, I'm doing this, but I also want to share with you some incredible news. So when I've got a couple of these done, stick around. I'm going to share with you my Christmas miracle. Yes, I will. Okay, here we go. Oh, beautiful brown color. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to take this one out. Drain, 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 drain. Put it over here on the paper towel to blot it out. I'm going to stick another one in there while it's really hot. Ooh, it's bubbling up. Put a couple little holes in it. Okay, now, while this is hot, we're just going to stick a little tiny bit of butter on it. Just a little bit. So there we go. Butter's going on it. And we're going to keep a good eye on this because it's the oil's really, really hot. Oh, it's nice and brown, nice and brown. Puffing up really nice right now. Do a tiny little bit of the coarse salt on it. And I'm going to sprinkle it with sugar. Woo! And a little bit of cinnamon. Most of my spices are from Badia, if I pronounce that right. And that's usually found in the Latin part of the grocery store. Most of my spices come from that, and they're a lot less expensive. So again, part of my frugality. Oh, look at this one. This one's a beauty. It's a beauty. This one's finished. Okay, we're going to put that one there. We're going to do one more. Whoops, it's all ready. Sizzling, sizzling. Okay, tiny little bit of butter on this one. You know, butter is just so wonderful. I stopped using margarine years ago when I found out it was really plastic. Okay. Uh-oh, this one's bubbling up now. Whoop. Perfect, perfect. Tiny little bit of coarse salt on it. A little bit of sugar. I don't know why I make all these noises when I cook, but I do. Okay, this one is like a puffer fish. It still needs a little bit more brown on the one side. Now we've done the salt, we've done the sugar. Now we're going to do a little bit of cinnamon. I don't know what's wrong with me, and I keep doing that. Okay, but that actually brings me to a very good point. I was listening to Ardent Michelle's goodbye video today. Oh, this one's perfect. We're going to turn this off. Three's my limit. I won't be eating 3 of these today, but might eat 2 of them. Who knows? Okay, look at that one. Also perfect. And we're going to take that off the burner. We're going to put a little bit of butter on this one. Finish it off. There you go. And tiny little bit of salt. Maybe the sound effects again. And sugar. And the last little thing is cinnamon. There you go. And there is a very sweet little treat, homemade at home, with your tortillas that you have. You know, you may have them in the refrigerator. I actually like to buy them on sale and freeze them. And of course, I use them for a lot of things. I actually make my chips out of my tortillas. And sometime I'll be doing a little video on that. So here we go. Here are my version of sopapillas. Oh, I hope you can see it here. You turn. Oh, there you go. There you go. They're beautiful. And they're crispy, crunchy, and tasty. I'm going to taste it right now. It's so good. It's so good. It's so simple. Your kids are hungry. You're hungry. You want something sweet. You don't want to make a cake. You don't know what to do. So do this. Oh, perfect. and very inexpensive. So I've got 3 of those. I'm going to put these back. Now, the next big thing for me is to learn how to make, I shouldn't talk with my mouth full, is to learn how to make my tortillas from scratch. So they don't have all the preservatives in them. They don't have all the extras. The ingredients list on these on these tortillas is at least 40 ingredients. 40 ingredients. Now, no offense to Mission, because they do make a great product, but I still want to learn how to make them on my own. So we've got that. So what is my motto about cooking in the kitchen? Clean as you go. So vegetable oil is going back into the cupboard right now while you and I are talking. And my Mission, get in the camera there. Mission tortillas are going in the refrigerator. There we go. And except for the oil there, my kitchen's almost clean. Cinnamon's already up in the cupboard. I'll put back my other items here in a minute. The knife is in the sink. The butter is put away. Hold on. Butter is put away. And there we go. Okay, so we did that. But now comes my Christmas miracle. And to share my Christmas miracle with you, I want to get into a comfortable position. So let me get into a comfortable position. I brought this chair here, my Christmas chair. It's actually really tall, so it's going to be hard for me to get up in it, but I will be getting up in it. And I also brought this to show you because I do a lot of my micro workouts in my kitchen with that dowel. So give me a second here. I'm going to get up in this chair. And why is that important? Let me try this again. Okay, here we go. Because a year ago, there is absolutely no way on God's earth I would have ever been able to get up in this chair. I've shared with a lot of you that I have osteoporosis. It's considered very severe. And for almost all of 2024, I was incapacitated with many broken vertebrae. I also had DEXA. They gave me DEXA scans, which is a bone density scan. And it showed that I had severe osteoporosis, that I was osteoporotic in every part of my skeleton, from my wrists to my hips, to my lumbar, to every place on me. I was given very strong bone meds, anabolic meds, and Forteo was what I was put on. I had a very nearly catastrophic reaction to Forteo. It raised my calcium so high that it affected my heart. I went off of it immediately. I was only on it for 4 days, and that was a year ago, October. At that point, they were talking palliative care with me. And if you know what palliative care is, I was horrified that that's where I was entering into in my life. And after I was told that I could no longer take those medications, and that in fact, I couldn't even take calcium supplements because of the risk of raising my calcium too high, I began to, let's be honest, I employed recovery techniques to what was wrong with me, including that my life had become unmanageable due to osteoporosis. That first step, my life had become unmanageable. I took advantage, I'm a veteran, I'm a disabled veteran, and I took advantage of all the occupational therapy and physical therapy that they could give me. And I began to do the research. Since I knew that I could not take supplements because of the risk of raising my calcium, because I have a compromised heart, I looked at what I could do with food. What could I do with exercise? Because I was already on the BLT diet, which is no bending, lifting, no turning, twisting, all of that. I had done that for a year. I hadn't even been able to sleep on my sides for almost 14 months. For 14 months, I had to lay in one position to sleep. I didn't drive. I didn't walk. We had a lot of our groceries sent to the house, which was very expensive, which is why when I began to get better, when I began to use my kitchen as a gym, as a spa, as a sanctuary, the whole thing of cooking became so important to me. And the frugality of it is important to me, because there are a lot of things my husband and I want to do in this last section of our lives, this last third, well, we hope it's a third of our lives. And by managing our budget in other places, I'm going to be able to travel this year. Some of you have even seen my travel vlog about my trip, my miracle trip to New York City, which I never dreamed I would ever take. And I did it on Amtrak. So I hope you take a look at that video. So now I want to share with you my miracle. And it is a miracle. I was told there was nothing that could be done for me, and to just accept it. And, you know, that my life was diminished, and that's the way it was. And I wouldn't be able to get back to the things that I loved. But on December 2nd, my doctor had me do another DEXA. Normally, DEXAs, or bone density tests, are done every 2 years if you've got issues. And in my case, they let me do it within 1 year. So within 1 year, I went back for that DEXA on December 2nd. I waited for the results until December 24th. On December 24th, I went into my doctor's office, and he said, "You've made some gains. You have improved." I want to let you know that that is just almost unheard of. My lumbar BMD, which is bone mineral density, actually went up 24%. My hip density, or the left femoral hip, went up. My BMD, bone mineral density, went up 11%. And that's very significant, because the hip is very difficult to remineralize. What did I do for the last 12, 14 months to get such astounding results without medications and without supplements? Well, starting with employing the first step of recovery, that situation of mine was unmanageable, I really began to put it to prayer and meditation. I began to ask for help. There was a scripture, excuse me, I think it's Psalm 32, and it says, "I cried out for help for my physical problems, and you heard me." And then I took advantage of all the physical therapy that I could. I started researching, and since my vitamin D was so terrible, like below 20, I found out that salmon was about the only thing, one of the few things that one could eat that could actually potentially raise your vitamin D and help with bone density. And I bought salmon every week for more than a year. From last November to now, I've been eating salmon, 2 to 4 ounces, up to 5 days a week. 5 days a week salmon. I also added oranges, and I don't mean orange juice, and I don't mean, you know, vitamin C supplements, and I don't mean emergency, which has a lot of vitamin C in it. People take that when they have the flu. I mean oranges. Mandarin oranges every day. Just had mine. I also sat in the sun. I live in Central Florida, so I don't really have an excuse not to go out in the sun, even though I'm in my late 60s, and it's very, very difficult to hang on to your vitamin D the older you get. My vitamin D started creeping up just a tiny little bit. I mean, I'm over 20 now, so that's good. But the big news is, because of the micro workouts, because of the salmon, because of eating vitamin D every day, or vitamin C every day, and because I have suppressed my immune system that was out of control. I had an out of control immune system. So I did something that was very counterintuitive when you have severe osteoporosis. I begged my doctors to microdose me on a little bit of steroids about every 3 months, and I get a very tiny shot of it. But whatever it did, it helped minimize the inflammation that was in me. I had an alkaline phosphatase test that was almost elevated by 100 points for more than 2 to 3 years. So clearly there was something very wrong with me. I also had COVID 8 times. And I know a little bit about that. And sadly, I lost one of my sons to it, and my father as well. And yet I still managed over this last year, with everything that I've gone through, managed to raise my bone mineral density in my back 24%, and in my hip 11%. I mean, when I say those numbers, I'm still astounded. I'm in an osteoporosis Facebook group, one that I actually founded, called Bone Buddies. And when I posted the results, you know, some people were saying that that's just almost unheard of. And I said, I know what it is. It's just not heard of. Now, by the way, my T scores didn't really change. They stayed stable. And what I've learned through this process is that your BMD, your bone mineral density score, which is a 0 point, well, mine was in the 500s, 3, 4, and 500s. Mine's now way above that. Is actually your BMD is your most important score. Your T score, and they said there's so many variables that can make a T score change. Just the fact that I had more than 14 broken bones in my back and my sacrum, and I had vertebrae that were out, discs that were out of place, will actually affect a bone density scan. I did not know that. Now my numbers, my T numbers are not great. They're still -3, actually -2 in a couple places. So there was a slight improvement in those T scores, but the bone mineral density scores went way up. And here's what I want to tell you. I instinctively knew that my skeleton was getting stronger. I have not broken anything in more than a year. For 1 full year, I was breaking constantly, but I haven't broken anything for a year. I think I've told the story about how I used to keep my emergency flashers on my car because I was terrified of anybody rear-ending me, because I figured that if that happened, I'd be dead because my back would completely collapse. And you do know that I've lost about 4.5 inches of height. So but back to feeling intuitively stronger. I'm lifting things. I'm doing things that I did before all this happened to me. I just got back from the grocery store and I take care of my own groceries now. Don't even have to ask my husband most of the time for help. But I want to share with you that I had a miracle. Now, I did my due diligence. I did my research. I practiced what I found in my daily activities. I've already today done my counter push-ups. I did 30 of them. I've done many, many calf lifts. Those micro workouts are still a very important part of my life. This dowel here, I found this dowel in my house and I use this to keep my back straight. In fact, just doing that brings my shoulder blades back together. It's a good thing. And I use it to walk. I'll put it behind my back when I walk, and thereby keeping my shoulder blades together. With the loss of height and all the damage that I had to my spine, my kyphosis was unbelievable. People no longer say that I look like I'm bent over, but I do a lot of that. Anyways, that's my Christmas miracle. And I am actually going to have the rest of that sopapilla. It was so good. If you don't mind, I'm going to have to close the stream because I want to have the rest of it. But thank you for listening today. Thank you for sharing my very raw and unedited videos. Just so you know, more than 20, they estimate 20 to 25% of all the videos that you're going to see on YouTube are not real. They're AI generated. And the new trend in the YouTube channels is to have raw, unedited, real-time, real-life people conversations, but authentic. And I'm at that point in my life where I've been told many, many times by people who know me and know my life, you need to write a book. Well, I've written many plays. You can see some of my plays at Unboxed Productions. We've got some of them wonderful actors that perform my plays. But I'm not here on this channel for any of that. I'm here to share wisdom. I'm here to share experiences, strengths, and hope. Because of my osteoporosis page called Bone Buddies on Facebook, I met an awful lot of people who've got some very, very hard stories, almost as hard as mine. Some are harder. And yet, even for them, there is hope. It may be smaller than others, but there is hope. And I'm here to tell you that a year ago, October, I was nearly hopeless. And now I'm filled with hope. I have stronger bones than I had a year ago. That is amazing at my age. I actually am getting a little bit taller because I'm standing up taller. I'm being more mindful of that. And anyways, I just want to thank you. And I'm just rambling on because I do that sometimes. But thank you again. And I will be back sharing some more frugal fun treats and recipes and things, and sharing another little bit of my experience, strength, and hope with you. Alrighty, I'm going to close this stream off, get off this high chair. I mean, this tall chair. It's not a high chair, it's a tall chair. Anyways, Love you. Bye.